MacVoices is sponsored by Smile and PDF Pen 9, the best way to do more with your PDF documents, including optical character recognition, search and replace, secure redacting, highlighting features, and much more. Get all the details and download a free trial at smilesoftware.com. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community. I'm Chuck Joyner, and we are at WWDC and AltConf in San Jose. I'm pleased to introduce Sui of PleyMart. She's going to tell you about how she and her organization are trying to get applications from the US and around the world into China in a little more controlled, open way. Sui, it's great to see you.
Hi, Chuck. It's great to see you too.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So tell me about PleyMart, what it is and what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, so PleyMart basically is a platform for developers to bring their really good product into China, because China is some sort of a special market. It's really huge population there, but there are so many rules and also localization stuff that needs to be handled beforehand in order to come in. So we're basically offering services and also a selling platform for all the developers around the world for them to come to China.
Now you say a selling platform. Are we talking about something like an app store?
Yes, it's really something like an app store, but only for Chinese market, because there are so many stuff that developers don't know but should have known before they come into China. So we're kind of want to make the process more easier and more convenient, not only for the developers but also for the Chinese customers in China. Yeah.
Okay, so can you give me some examples of things that maybe, if I were a developer, that I would maybe need to know to come into the Chinese market and probably don't, or where I might get tripped up?
Of course. So the first thing maybe the developer would think about is localization, right? What kind of images or colors or words that Chinese people would like to more get friendly with. Those kind of stuff are the really basic ones they should know, which we can handle easily for them. And the second one would be the legal protection part. In China, the environment of the software has been complicated in the past few years. Chinese customers are just starting to having the ideas they should paying stuff for the software also, and the market is really growing there. The educated people are really having the sense of purchasing. For them, it's the understanding of purchasing a software from an app store or from a website is well known now. So it's the really mature market to enter at this point. So, but also for the Chinese customers, there's one difficulty is finding good stuff on app store or on any platforms. And in China, there's not a lot of information website or content website or even selling platform offer for them. If you go to China, ask anyone on the street saying if you want to buy a software, where would you go? Maybe only 10 or 20% of Mac user would say, well, Mac App Store. But rest of the people would rather have Windows OS on their Mac, or just go search it, see where I can download it for free. Not because they don't want to pay it, it's because they don't know where to go for it. So that's why we're launching this platform, PleyMart, for all the Chinese users to know what's the good software out there. So first of all, they will know what software is good. The second, we're gonna provide them a really convenient way to purchase it and to have all the services and support in Chinese.
Okay, that definitely will help. China is one of those markets I think that everyone wants to get into, but as you said, they're not quite sure how, and if they try to do it on their own, they run afoul of a rule or two, and then they give up.
Yes, they do. In China, there's a lot of obligations that developers need to follow, before they launch anything. But it will be hard for them to have the obligation updated so well, because they're all in Chinese, of course, and they will probably only know it when their application is disapproved from the App Store. That's the time they will know, something went wrong. But from PleyMart, we will give them the service. We will tell them what obligation is happening right now and what kind of certificate you will need for your game or for your apps. and then we will help them to achieve that first. And also with the legal certificate, legal protection, everything. We're gonna help them to do that before they launch it to the customers, and they don't need to worry about it anymore.
Sui, outside of China, I think there's a lot of concern right now about security of apps and the privacy issues and all. Is that something that you will be trying to address with developers to try to help them be secure or feel secure when they're taking their apps into China?
I don't really get the question. What do you mean by secure?
Well, secure as in, oh boy.
I know the word secure, but what do you mean like by provide their software?
Well, I'm thinking privacy. I'm thinking viruses. I'm thinking all those concerns that we all have when we feel very secure downloading something from the Apple App Store because we know it's been examined and considered.
Oh, okay.
And so is that something you'll be trying to address too for the Chinese market?
Of course, that's definitely something that's like one of the basic things you have to. But there are a lot of like security services we already have like contract with that we don't really need to worry about it. And also for China, all the servers are under the control by the government actually. Like all the contents inside like Chinese will be using local servers from China, and we'll be using local security services from China. So everything will be under the government's control. Actually, we have to do that because we have to make sure everything is transparent for the government to like take a look or like to have the control over it. Yeah, and all those stuff will be provided also.
Now, this is probably a very Western way of looking at things, but I would think that there has to be a charge of some kind of, again, if I'm a developer and I bring my app to you and say, I want you to help me deploy it in China, what kind of charge will there be? What kind of percentage would there be of the cost?
Yeah, well, right now there's a small difference between apps because like some of the apps are really like contains a large fan base, but some of the apps are really just beginning to launch. But basically our collaboration, the way it works will be something really similar to Mac App Store. Like the shares and everything will be really similar to App Store for the developers, but we are definitely offering more stuff, more services to the developers, like the legal protection, localization, and also marketing. We're gonna also do marketing for them. Actually, that's one of our strongest part. We have like 1 million fan base already. Like I've been in the media industry for the past 6-7 years, so we do have a lot of resources. That's also covering like national radio, national high-speed train. We can get all the developers to be exposed to more Chinese people. Yeah, and that's actually the advantage of our part.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so again, pretend I'm a developer. How do I get started with you, or how do I get this process started that I want my app in China?
Oh, it's very easy. You guys maybe can just check out on PleyMart.com. So PleyMart, but play with a E. Sounds still the same. PleyMart.com, and there will be a registration page right now for the developers to sign up with like what kind of app you're doing, a small description about your apps. Can I find it on any of the link outside? Stuff like that. Register, and our consumer version platform will be launched in September to all the Chinese customers. So right now the page are all in English version, but in September it will be all transferred to Chinese and ready to launch to all the Chinese customers. Actually, we just did a small sound on the Chinese Weibo the day we launched it yesterday actually, and we received a lot of feedbacks from Chinese customers looking forward for the developers to come. Like they can't wait because there's no place like this ever before, and they're really excited about it.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming to AltConf and to WWDC and talking about this and introducing it. It's important to the developer community to reach a global audience, a more global audience, and it sounds like this is a great way for them to get into China.
Yes, of course. Well, it's not only good for developers, it's also good for the Chinese customers. Like Chinese customers, they're eager to know more about the good softwares. Like, of course, with Chinese introduction, like there are a lot of people who's really interested into like new technologies, new softwares. And by PleyMart, we hope that we can deliver more good stuff from outside China into China and establish the bridge between China and other countries.
That's one of the great things about coming to this is it bridges so many cultures and so many disciplines, and it's great. So it's great to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for the interview.
Folks, we'll have more from AltConf and WWDC in San Jose. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes, links to subscribe, and to connect with Chuck on Twitter, Google+, Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, SoundCloud, the MacVoices blog, the MacVoices Dispatch, our weekly newsletter, and on MacVoices magazine, free on Flipboard that helps you do more with your Apple tech. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.